can you just give the what you see as your quick 30,000-foot view state of the BPO space? Maybe talk about the multiples that you're seeing now. I know there's some variation in that, but just talk about that, and then let's move on to the next slides. And I think that will even maybe add some more breadth to some of those slides.
Well, I mean, the appetite for acquisition, growth through acquisition is, as strong as it's ever been. Even though interest rates have increased, they're still pretty cheap. 6-7% money when you look at, some type of weighted average cost of capital, still, relatively inexpensive to historical levels. Strategics want to buy, smaller firms. I mean, for a number of reasons: to expand their geography, to get into better locations from a hiring perspective, to grab, particular clients, to look into different industries, to, maybe buy some things and look about nearshoring or offshoring them, to reduce costs through technology. I mean, the growth by acquisition strategy is alive and well, and it will continue to be. Multiples really haven't changed. I mean, our phones aren't going to stop ringing if the 8%, interest rate hits us by next week, right? I mean, they're just not. People need live voice, and there is no substitute in my mind for live voice and live American English speaking voice, right? It's the top live voice in the world for a reason, and it will continue to be that way. I guess the nature of buyers has changed somewhat, where we're seeing, far more strategic buyers rather than private equity buyers. It's not a great private equity play, even though I think a friend of mine who is in private equity might be on this call today. It's difficult to grow the business, Tom, as you know, right? I mean, solely because where are the people, right? If you're in the market of Erie, Pennsylvania, it might be a different hiring environment than if you're in San Antonio, Texas. So growth is difficult, and that's traditionally what a lot of financial buyers look for: is what's the growth, what's the run rate, how can I get this? With that said, there are a lot of financial buyers who are looking for platforms to buy and then bolt new acquisitions on. So I don't think a lot's changed in terms of acquisitions. The multiples are all pretty healthy. Depending on the nature of the business, you could go anywhere from a small outbound center with concentration risk might go for 3 times. If you get a really shiny inbound, no customer concentration, great industry, HIPAA, SOC 2, all of those things, it could go for 6-7 times, depending on the vertical and the profitability. But again, that's 5 to 50 million. Kind of once you get over 20-30 million, the multiples invert a little bit, and it looks a little rosier when you get to that level. But I don't see a whole lot changing.